Let's go.
Good morning and welcome to Enlighten Radio. It happens to be May the 13th, 2024. And today's live program, soon to be a podcast, is the Turd Sandwich Cafe, a.k.a. the Sports and Comedy Attack, featuring Mike Cuccherini. Mike, take it away for today.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, and thank you. Wherever you are, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever the hell you are. I happen to be listening to this on the internet. We appreciate any kind of listener out there. We thank you. I generally cover local sports. It's going to be kind of hard because none of our teams, obviously, the Wizards did not do anything in the playoffs. The Mystics look like they're set for a competitive season. They're going to do well in the Women's Basketball League, which is becoming much, much stronger. I applaud the thinking, the generational thinking of their chairperson, their chairwoman. Caitlin Clark is going to pack some stadiums. There's also the young lady from LSU who's going to pack some stadiums. These are really, really excellent, high caliber athletes. And for you to go see them live, to do their thing, it's terribly exciting. It's terribly exciting. I don't know what's going to happen to the Washington Capitals. I don't want to speculate whether or not they're going to get rid of Alexander Ovechkin. I don't think they will. He's not what he once was. Everybody gets older, but he's still a damn good hockey player. So let's keep that in mind. Let's move.
Question on that.
Go ahead.
Just a moment. Okay, I know it might not be appropriate, but you said that it was the most amazing athletes. I don't see how anything could possibly compare to the axe cutters of Maine that we saw perform at the Forest Festival in West Virginia a year ago.
Let me ask you this, John.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a WNBA game?
Yeah, I have seen one. Right.
Up close and personal?
No, just TV.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I went to a University of Kansas basketball game when I was in 1967 or 8. So, the answer I would have to give is yes, since those guys were top of the heap at the time.
It's not the same. It is not the same. These girls start playing basketball when they're 8, 9 years old, just like the guys do. Okay. And they can shoot, they can dribble, they can jump, they can dunk. People thought, women will never be able to do it. And then along comes Brittany Griner. Slam! How about that? What's up? How about that?
I don't know, man. I mean, can they throw a full-size axe into a bullseye from 60 feet?
Give them about a month, maybe 2 months of training, and they'll kick the shit out of those guys. Come on. Let's be real here, man. Come on. These are athletes. These are...
Okay.
You keep talking about axes. What? John.
I mean, they had to chop all the way through, looked like a 1.5 foot thick trunk, in a set amount of time.
Listen, I will quote Airplane, the first movie, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the co-pilot in the first movie.
Yeah, he was.
Airplane. And I want him to just, the way he grabbed that kid and said, tell your dad, sorry ass, to drag Walton and Lanier up and down the court for 45 fucking minutes.
Okay.
So, let's see the axe throwers get in there and let me see their endurance. Let me see their ability to even do anything in the fourth quarter. Give me a break.
Okay.
Come on.
Look. If they have a forest festival this summer, late summer, you and I, we can go down. We can go out there, and you and I.
Those guys. World class. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys are,
go ahead.
Some of the girls too. Have you seen some of the young ladies that do the log roll?
No.
Have you seen that? That's amazing, dude. Men and women just trying to outdo each other in the water with the log. If they fall, that's who loses. But good God, I saw like a competition between a young lady and an older man, and they were just going toe for toe, man. It was awesome. I think it might have been father-daughter kind of thing.
What the hell are you talking about? I mean, what kind of
You're
sport
talking about
is this?
axe throwing. You're talking about axe throwing,
Yeah.
which goes and relates directly to the Timberwolves games.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes, it does. Matter of fact, I believe there were some alternative sports to axe throwing. I just remember the crowd.
You know where that comes from, right? That's Welsh. The whole thing comes from the Welsh.
The Welsh?
Yeah, the Welsh created those
Richard
Highland games in Scotland and Ireland and in Wales. They play these games where you have the log throw, but the log throw is like a friggin' tree, and you gotta throw it up in the air.
Was that sort of like derived back from, you had the skull of your latest victim and you were kicking it around the field with your horse?
Yes, exactly. Except we don't have terms like in the first quarter, if your team is losing, you must be executed. I'm sorry. That's just the king said I gotta look, I like you. I really do. But it's not up to me, it's up to the king. So you talk
to
him,
rules,
I'm gonna have
honey.
to chop your
Sorry.
head off, so. Sorry, sweetie. Sorry. You'll have to put your head on this chopping block.
Right.
I want to say something really quick. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets for tying the series 2-2. They are the resident champions of the NBA. They did win the championship. They have the 3-time most valuable player, Nikola Jokic, who is a beast. He's amazing. He looks like this, I don't know, European mob boss, the way he looks, because he's got these big shoulders, he's got this gigantic head, and yet he is so elegant. His moves are so smooth. He can pass the ball. He knows where everybody's out on the court. He's got great court presence, and he's an excellent rebounder, and he can shoot three-pointers. That's not what I want to say. It was amazing. I forget the guard's name, but they stole the ball with a second and a half left in the game, and against Minnesota, they were playing the Timberwolves, and the kid shot it from half court and made it, and they won the game. It was one of the better buzzer beaters you'll see in playoff basketball. It was kind of amazing. So,
wow.
And I have absolutely no hopes for the DC Defenders in the UFL, formerly the XFL, but now the UFL. I have no hopes for them. They're not gonna do much. I do want to say this Nationals baseball team is exciting to watch. Yes, we dropped to a very good Red Sox team. Let's just settle down. Let's move on, because you know what? They're in games. Let's concentrate on that. Guys like Winker, guys like C.J. Abrams is a beast. You've got Parker's starting to pitch good. You got Josiah Gray, who's a badass. You got Matt Gore, who can pitch. There's some guys on this team that Joey Meneses is just excellent playing first base. You got, it's kind of incredible. The only drag on their lineup right now is I love Victor Robles, but boy, oh boy, when they said he was an airhead, he just spaces out sometimes.
Well, that's spacing out. He may have moved to a higher plane for a moment.
I don't know, dude.
Or maybe,
sometimes he gets distracted,
prayer.
He got thrown out in the series, got thrown out at first base, John. This is the second time it's happened to him. You can't get thrown out if you're that fast at first base. You can't do it. You're not doing your team any good services, dumbass. So it's hard.
Do you think?
But the good news is there's a lot of young guys on this team that are really want to win, and they're playing good baseball. So you can't just show up like you could last year and go, it's the Nationals. We'll put one of our lower tier pitchers in and we can take a break. No, you can't take a break. You better be ready because they'll kick your ass. So there's that. And then the Washington Commanders got their man. The quarterback, the LSU quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy, they picked him in the second round. Caleb is his name, and he is a phenomenal athlete. He might be just a little bit slight right now, but I'm certain he's going to put on some weight. A la Lamar Jackson over in Baltimore, who has progressively gained muscle weight over the years and just continues to get better. He's phenomenal. He's also won the MVP of the NFL. But we'll see. I mean, it's interesting to see the Commanders do things that are normal, that are like, okay, we have some issues here, John. You and I need to talk about it. Let's plug in this lineman here, this lineman there, that linebacker there. You know, they're actually looking at the roster and going, okay, what can we do to get impact players in here that want to win? And I applaud it. It's totally different than people in Washington are like, what? We're not going to do any fancy shit? What? Yeah. Because Snyder was all about PR. You know, it wasn't about the intricacies of the X's and O's. He wasn't about that.
Yeah.
So,
well.
You know, I think he had, in 20-some years of owning the team, I think he had 3 winning seasons. It's a bad record, John. It's a bad record.
Did he immigrate to the UK?
I don't know. This was a report from a long time ago that said he did. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know.
I mean, I wish
I knew. I should have been on top of that. I don't know. He's out of the spotlight, so I'm glad. I can't stand the guy.
Yeah. I just read another story about a player, an NFL player, I don't remember his name, who tried to open a pub in northern England or Scotland. I can't remember which. And he was rejected by the community as an outsider. You know, a lot of clannishness, sort of, or at least sounds very clannish, you know. You're not a neighbor. Of course, this was like moving to Vermont. When I first moved to Vermont, I was told that my grandchildren might be considered Vermonters, but I never would.
That's always plus.
You know, it's like after you've been here 150 years, you can, you know.
Hey, John, listen, I've been meaning to tell you, you ain't no West Virginian, boy. You got to be born here.
Well, actually, my mother was born here.
There you go. Then your grandmother did.
And my grandmother, too. And my grandfather on hers. Well, she went back, all the way back, pretty far back in western Virginia, then became West Virginia.
Well, I was on the road so much, I didn't care. We moved from Virginia to West Virginia well over 25 years ago, and I was kind of like, well, I can get to 81 pretty easily, so and 95 and all those other places, all those road accesses I needed was around here. It's not that hard. Where we live, it became pretty easy, but then, you know, it's just, as we discussed this past Sunday with all my friends, is life is what happens when you're making other plans, brother.
Yeah, amen to that.
You know, so that's just every grace of God. You know, we're
okay.
Moving on.
One
more comment.
Go ahead.
One more comment about the Commanders. They seem to be doing the right things. Whether those things work or not, I'm looking at low-tier, lower-level, non-showy football players that they have picked.
Yeah.
And I am not at all disappointed. I thought it was a good draft. They made some trades. They picked up some free agents on that offensive line. They have a left tackle that is he was a find. This kid, I've seen him play. Okay? He didn't get picked in the first round. He didn't even get picked in the second round. He got picked in the third or fourth round, I think. And he's a big, strong, fast kid. And that's what you need at left tackle. So we'll see. We'll see. Good luck, guys.
Okay, well, now listen, I got a question to ask you that arose. I'll be frank, from one of the people we interviewed.
Please be, John.
Okay, and that is, if a team considered itself a Christian team, then wouldn't it be fair for them to pause on the field for a prayer meeting, you know, in the midst of a game, to consult Jesus'
I would
authority.
right. No, I would say, excuse me. I would say it's up to the team and who they represent and what that represents. If they feel all together, I'm for democracy. If you look around and all your people are, a specific way with, into the church and supporting the church and being very, very Christian, then by all means, go ahead and get in a prayer circle. That's great. I'm not gonna beat up anybody that wants to do that. You got your faith, you got your faith. I got mine, you got yours. We all have something. But I'm not going to judge them. And if the other team doesn't want to participate, they don't have to.
Well, now, what about the Islamic team then?
It's fine with me. Don't care.
Okay.
If you had guys, bowing on their knees and praying on their prayer rug to Mecca, who gives a shit? They still have to play ball.
What about the Russian Orthodox Church?
I don't care.
Okay. Team.
I literally, John, you could go outside and worship an oak tree and then come back out and play the game. It doesn't, whatever informs your faith and makes you stronger that you feel that way, please do it. But here's the thing. Let's not be cruel, because you and I both know we've met a lot of really, really cruel, evil, mean Christians, and we have met a lot of really, really smart, sweet, kind, participatory atheists. So,
well, you just persuaded me. I mean, I'm ready to roll.
Dude, I'm
ever since I found out in Barcelona that this gigantic, the biggest in the world, they claim, church had a separate tower for every one of the apostles. And I said, Judas too? And he said, they're working on it.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't know what that.
Hey, speaking of churches, do you see the church here on 340 or 230 on your way out of town is gone? It's a bust. They're selling office space now for retail. They're selling that huge mega church that just got built like a couple of years ago.
On 340.
And now they're building the middle school or grade school right next to it. The
right.
church is not there anymore. There's no congregation.
You kidding me?
No, right on 230. You can see the sign. There's no Vacation Bible School. There's none of that. Out front it says retail space available.
Holy shit. The Covenant. That was called the Covenant Church.
Right down there. Yeah, right where you go all the time back to Mr. Bill's. You can talk to Bill about it if you want to, but it's
I'll bet. Yeah,
my wife and I drove through and we're like, holy shit, that's
wow. I wonder if they've moved someplace.
I don't know, but the mega church out here, well, at the other end, down at the end
Crossroads.
you know what I'm talking about, the bypass
Crossroads.
for Shepherdstown?
Yeah, the Crossroads.
That's gone too. That's been gone for a year, or two.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those people are not attending services. I think probably COVID didn't help. I think a lot of folks probably through COVID may have reevaluated their choices. I don't know, but the numbers just they're not there, I guess, for them.
Wow.
But
that's
I can't worry about that. I can't worry about any of that because it's all about packing. So
I know you're going to be living somewhere else, but that is interesting news, Mike. It really is. Yeah.
Well,
as little as last week, there was people parked in there and doing their thing, but no more, huh? Wow.
Drive by there and take a look, bro. It's scary.
Yeah.
So,
well, this is a good
huge
spot for the Turd Sandwich Cafe to set up store.
Yeah, let's do it.
And
as I've said many a times on this show, John, that's good turd.
Yes, good turd. Yeah,
good turd.
Nitrogen has a virtuous place in the cycles of life. It really does.
Wow.
So,
Well, it was so whirlwind like this weekend. I'm so glad just to kind of be home base and get everything done. But I'm really happy that there's 5 bookshelves in here, John. 5, 2 behind me,
Yeah.
one over there,
And they're
one over there,
empty.
and one over
They're
there, and
empty.
they're all empty.
Yeah.
I emptied out every one of them.
Well, okay. So you're exiting fast.
Yeah,
Wow.
we have
So
to.
the
We don't have a choice.
so they really fixed up
That's
the
beautiful.
apartment and
Yeah, they have
your mom's
nice
house.
LVL flooring. We have a big bathroom. It has a huge shower in it. It's reasonable size. We have a big bedroom. We have a big sitting area. We have a long hallway where we could put all our bookshelves all along 2 hallways. It's going to be really pretty. There's an exterior exit door that we can go out and walk up steps and be in the backyard. It's very nice. I don't know right now. The biggest concern that we have, more so than getting everything done on time, is actually being able to move the cat.
Yeah.
He doesn't like being in the car at all. He hates it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a nightmare moving. I remember driving our cat we had in Maine down to West Virginia, and holy shit, you know,
Yeah.
he yelled the whole way.
Yep, that's all you hear the whole time.
I had to put.
Well, we're going to ask the vet, but the vet, I think, is going to tell us to give him
A little
something
sedative.
to help him.
Yeah.
Well, I think probably there is. Thank God, from what I've heard, there is kitty CBD oil where you can put a little bit in his food and it'll make him just kind of relax and go to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's kind
Yeah,
of
that
where
would
we're
be,
at right now. We're just going to confirm that with the vet just to make sure it's okay to do. We don't want to kill our cat, but
Right.
just take it easy with it. We were actually considering leaving him with the new owners.
They wouldn't like that. No.
No. And if you get a chance, I do want to talk to you about something offline sometime this afternoon. Please give
Okay.
me a call.
Sure. Yeah. All right. You know.
I know you'll forget, but
Well, I might.
I'll forget.
You know, I got another show after this one, and
all right, brother. All right,
so
that's cool.
but-
By the way, the roast of Tom Brady wasn't as horrible as everybody makes it out to be.
I watched
So-
a couple of snatches of it. It was kind of funny, you know. I mean,
So,
especially-
it's a vulgar thing these days, and people stop with this. You sound like get off my lawn, folks. Just comedians are gonna rip you to shreds if you invite them to. That's what they're gonna do. So, you went out and hired Kevin Hart for this. You also brought in the roast master Jeffrey Ross, who's one of the best roasters you've ever seen. He's been a part of every Comedy Central roast, and there's a reason for that, because he's good at it. Jesus, these people. They said the PR for Tom Brady was he wanted to be normalized. Well, that's not going to happen. It wasn't accomplished. And there was a lot of jokes about his ex-wife,
yeah.
which he was not offended by. He was offended by a joke about Robert Kraft, the owner. It's like, come on, dude. Robert Kraft is lucky he even knows he's there. So just settle down. He's the owner of the Patriots. So and he worked Tom worked for him for 40 years. But I will say this: it is awful cocky for like a 3rd or 4th round pick to walk up to the owner and he says to you, you say, "Mr. Kraft, I'm Tom Brady. I got drafted in the 4th round or whatever from Michigan." And he, "Oh, I know who you are." Tom Brady looked him right in the eye the first day he met him and said, "I am going to be the best decision this organization has ever made." We are done 6 Super Bowls for New England and 1 in Tampa.
Yeah. No.
I mean, you can't. That guy was determined to be the very best at what, and he's still to this day when they were roasted, he still wants to be on the field. He's like 45 years old. He says, "Oh, I might come out of retirement." I'm like, please don't. Not again. Just stay retired. I'm staying retired. If I get any calls down in Culpeper about stand up or just something, no, don't call me. I'll just hand you off to my buddies. I don't want to deal with it. So there you go.
There you go. Well,
I may come to the show and support the show and applaud and laugh, but that's it.
Everybody's time comes. It's a time.
Yeah. Well, we gotta jump, John. I gotta jump. Yeah. I got stuff I gotta do.
Well, listen, the Turd Sandwich Cafe is always open for people who want to.
Thank you all for listening to our babbling. Yeah.
They want the rest of the day to be bad. They know there's a bunch of shit that's coming in. They know, and so maybe I should just eat some, and then
eat something from here. The rest of the day's up. It just goes up from here.
Up,
and away. Johnny, thank you.
Thank you, man. All right. Take care. It's late, but everything comes next.